Recordings begin. Now we're going to go live.
Oh, okay. Got it.
All right. Behave yourself, Dante. We're going live.
I won't behave myself. Oh, Nicholas.
We are now live.
Did you see what I wrote?
Yes, I've been reading you.
Oh.
Your messages. That sounded inappropriate.
All right. As you're sleeping peacefully in Hana's apartments, all of a sudden a bomb explodes and you all died.
Woohoo! Time to go to bed.
All right, time to haunt our enemies.
Roll up new characters. All right, what are you guys going to do this morning? You guys hear a rooster somewhere. Sun shining through the window.
I did spend the night studying the notes.
For the ritual?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I need to recap. Oh no, I remember the last thing now.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a ritual skill roll, Victor Howell.
Oh yeah.
Your magic skill.
Stuff I'm looking for my D10. So, no, you're not my D10. Right. Also not my. There you are. That's a 65 to my. God, I need a meter system here. Oh, yeah, I failed by 1.
You failed by 1 point?
Yeah, I rolled a 65. My ritual's at 64.
Ooh, that's not good. Okay. You almost thought you had a handle on how the ritual worked. You've never actually seen a ritual like this before for teleporting. You do understand that this ritual was a teleportation ritual. You understand that it teleports to a very specific location based on the runes that were etched into the ritual in the floor that you guys took diagrams of. So at least you know what they look like. What the location is, you don't know. You basically know from what you see in the symbols that it's Egyptian, so possibly Egypt. It kind of makes sense to you that it's probably Egypt is where he teleported himself to. As for the ingredients required for this ritual, it looked like the individual used crushed gemstones of varying colors. So you imagine his ritual sphere, along with the crushed gemstones, probably cost quite a bit to put together. You're probably talking the number of tens of thousands of dollars just for the crushed gemstones alone. So you'd need the required amount of gemstones to crush and fill the grooves. You believe that if you recreated the designs to the exact specifications that he had in his ritual circle, you might be able to repeat it. You recall what he was whispering on his breath. You didn't forget it. Your skill roll was enough so that you could remember most of what you heard him uttering in the ritual. What you don't know is the length of time it took him. You don't know when he started, so you can't surmise that. You don't know if you could complete this ritual exactly as he did. So, which could bear a problem in its recreation. So you might need to do some more research to try and figure out the exact specifics of it, which would require resources at a major magic college, which there is one in Chicago. And you might be able to, if they have the text necessary, they might be able to help you get over that little gap of knowledge that you just missed with your own. But otherwise, you think you could potentially repeat the process. Anybody else?
I'll just make breakfast for everybody in the morning.
Make breakfast?
Yeah.
You put it in a ritual circle?
No.
Oh, okay. What are we
It's the
having for
breakfast ritual.
Seth says, what are we having for breakfast?
Eggs, bacon, some toast. Yeah.
Seth will help you and makes coffee.
Okay.
Oh, and you notice Sam and Dean are not here in the morning when you guys wake up.
Oh.
They're not.
Nope.
Well, I
How
mean, they're not like staying in the apartment. They were just helping out for that like task.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So they went on home in the middle of the night. They stood and guarded till morning and then they left.
Hmm.
Is what Seth tells you if you ask.
Hal's gonna shamble over towards that coffee,
There's
Uh,
coffee.
handing Aster back their notes.
Yeah, I take them back.
I thought you said last time it was that you're gonna let them make copies of it, not take the actual one.
Well, I don't think Aster really trusts Hal all that much, so I think returning them when not in use is the best way to build up on that.
Mm.
You can always ask to borrow them again later.
Yeah. Right now, the only person that can effectively utilize those notes is Victor Howell.
So Hal's gonna thanks for letting me borrow that for the night. Where's the rest of them?
You said, where's the rest of them?
Your friends, your crew.
I point at who's in there with me, Seth.
Yeah, it's
And
just
then
Seth. It's just Seth now.
Oh, I
Unless
guess
you
I
wanna-
just say.
Unless you want to go out in the street and pick up the orc.
Well, I mean, everyone else is inside the apartment though, just not outside of the rooms.
Yeah, it's just you guys and Seth.
They're probably just in their rooms still.
What you making there?
Eggs, bacon, and toast.
Well, more than I can do.
We should probably
And
go
with
wake them
that-
up.
Oh, with everybody else asleep.
I'm assuming because they're not doing anything and they're not out of their rooms.
Nicholas is doing some light reading of the book that he has on relic crafting right now. The first
I'm
read
sleeping
through
in.
still, just going through it.
paint us a word picture of him reading.
A word picture.
Yeah,
He's-
how's he reading? Is he cozied up in his room? Is he concerned about anything?
Oh, he's always concerned about something, but especially with this current incident that's still ongoing. But he's just laying on his bed right now, reading the book on his first read through, so he's not really going in depth on what he's reading, just getting through it the first time, making notes of points that he found kind of confusing, but also reading on to see if it clarifies later on.
Oh,
He's just right on his bed.
I almost forgot. Nicholas, I need you to make a intellect check for me.
Okay. 7 against a 10.
7 against 10. Okay. As you're there, are you like just sitting on your bed, studying, or at a desk, or what?
Laying on the bed.
Okay. You hear a very faint humming of a tune. Sounds feminine. You look up. You still see the girl. She's now sitting in another corner of the room, in like the very, very corner, like tucked into it. And she's got her knees pulled up to her chest, and she's like pulling at her hair. And you hear a faint feminine humming, but it's not coming from her. I mean, it's very faint. You at first thought it might have just been one of your compatriots out in the hallway, but you hear them talking, even though your door is closed, in the kitchen, not too far from you, down the stairs. Or pretty much their voices coming up through the floorboards. Because you're upstairs, right?
Yes.
So you can hear them talking and holding a conversation downstairs, but the hum seems like it's close but faint. And then all of a sudden, as you're like just perplexed, I mean, it was loud enough just for you to catch your attention, even though you're deep in your study. And all of a sudden, you see at the brass headboard ahead of you, it's open, but where the bar railing comes across the top, all of a sudden you see some feminine fingers with long nails reach up over it and grasp it. And as they're there, you can't see the hand underneath the bar. And then you see another pair of fingers gently reach over the top. Do you do anything? The hum's getting louder.
I'll just speak out and be like, "Who's there?"
The humming continues, and you see one of the fingers kind of like gently tapping the bar of your baseboard for the bed. And then the fingers gradually let go, reach up, and then go back down and disappear. And the humming stops.
I'll promptly close the book that I was reading and go to check to see if it's the spirit is, or what I'm assuming is a spirit is still there.
Yeah, you get up and look around the end of the bed, and you don't see anybody. And it was, like I said, it was odd. You only saw the fingers appear above the bar, not below, like you would normally see if somebody was down there. The fingers did have one of the things you did notice. Yeah, we didn't notice quite easily. Jewelry. The fingers were adorned with decorative rings. You didn't get a super good look at them, but the fingers did have some gold and what appeared to be silver rings.
Okay. Gold and silver rings. Another spirit.
And now when you look it over at your little friend in the corner, she's no longer pulling at her hair. She's just got her arms wrapped around her knees and she's rocking back and forth with her head down. You still get a sense of that dark presence surrounding her.
I'll take a bit of time to just like kind of comfort her.
Okay. She seems to relax a little bit at your efforts.
And I take it as a cue to start the day and go join everyone downstairs for breakfast.
Okay.
Because I have to go check on my dog.
Aether King, what are you up to?
I was sleeping in.
You're sleeping in? Okay. Make a roll. Intellect.
Intellect.
D10 against your intellect.
Intellect is that. So I made it 5.
You made it 5?
5 on 5.
Okay. You abruptly wake up almost in a shock. You snap awake in a sitting up position.
Ah, thank God.
And you think it's because there's a woman standing over your bed.
Again.
You know, this woman is a lot different than what you saw before. Very beautiful. I mean, as soon as you see her, you could tell she's just striking in her appearance. Her hair is braided, it's dark. Her skin's got also a deep tan, kind of like almost Persian in looks. But her attire is distinctively Egyptian.
Hmm.
She's got long, slender fingers that are adorned with rings. And she's wearing a tiara around her head that's in the shape of a serpent with its head pointed face down towards her nose. And
Okay.
she's smiling gently at you. And then as you're like fully coming awake, all of a sudden she's no longer there.
Oh, that's sad. That's an abrupt way to wake up. Was this going to be a nightmare?
It was a
think
wake
to-
up. It was a wake up that left you with a feeling of unease.
Well, yeah, I was probably thinking to myself, was this about to be a nightmare? I lucked out. I get up and try and find some water in the kitchen.
Okay, everybody's in the kitchen except
Yeah.
for I think everybody's in the kitchen now.
Yeah, I think so, right?
Yeah, I think so. Everybody has collected in the kitchen.
Good morning, everyone.
Seth says good morning. He's huddled over his cup of coffee at the table.
So what's next on our agenda?
I was wondering about that too. What do you guys what is all of your what is your little group's deal?
We kind of got all mixed up in this mess. But I'm more curious about if you found out anything about those papers you're looking at.
Teleportation ritual?
Yeah.
I still need to figure out exactly what the components used were. And I'm not certain on its exact location, but this is more of a guess than anything definite. So if you try thinking they're doing it on your own and it fucks up on you, that's not on me. But I'm going to assume it brought the destination in mind was somewhere in sorry, I've been up all night. Somewhere in Egypt.
In Egypt.
I'd have to go. I'd have to get access to some a little bit more in-depth research materials to figure out.
Funny
more.
you say Egypt.
Funny I say Egypt, and funny haha or funny weird.
Funny weird. Kind of almost had a nightmare and the woman was wearing Egyptian clothes.
That's a coincidence.
I think not. But, could have been just a nightmare.
Seth says you seem to have a lot of nightmares.
They come and go. Is that
So,
breakfast I smell? What are you making, Esther?
bacon and eggs and toast.
Mind if I have some?
I'll make you a plate.
Thank you. Much
I'm just
appreciated.
making everyone like plates, basically. That's what my character is doing now. And I say, are we still going after the torque? That's what we call it.
Yeah, it's a torque.
I'm pretty sure they'll still want us to go after it.
What's a torque? Exactly.
Just a piece of jewelry that is also roughly around a level 4 relic.
And a lot of people want it.
And we're tasked to find it. And I guess if we figure out how this spell works fully, maybe we could
Well,
still
one
try
step
and
closer
find
to
it.
try and get it.
But we should probably talk to the council about an update.
To be clear, you're getting compensated for this, right?
I mean, I was only
Um,
really doing it to find my dad.
We found your dad.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, for the most part, I'm in the camp of putting this on the back burner and helping Aster settle her affairs
Hmm.
of now being the inheritor of her family's company
And here
and
you
sole
are making
survivor.
everyone breakfast.
Yeah, I guess I do have to figure all that stuff out.
You you got her not really okay, huh?
Do you have any
Well,
other
let's not
relatives
focus on me right now. I'm
nearby?
just gonna eat
Anyone?
my breakfast and maybe we should talk to the Elven Council.
Yeah. Oh, and when you talk to that council, you from like I already know I've had a fine month or so, but you all also seem like you've been through a lot in a short period of time, and you shouldn't be going through more until you make sure your suffering is being compensated accordingly. I'm not the altruistic type, but I do believe in unions, and you know how they're getting real popular more westward. So perhaps consider making sure you're okay at the end of all of this.
Yeah,
Seth,
as he
Seth
goes
looks
to
at
sit
you.
down.
Seth looks at you across the table and he says, I don't think Miss Smith over here will have any problem. So
Did I
she's
ask
like,
you?
she's the only, she's the sole owner of Smith and Wesson Corporation at the moment.
And that compensates what losses for everyone, or was that saying, oh, she's fine because she's clearly because she's gone through some loss because the finances are in order?
Well, I'm just saying, it's not like anybody
I'm
here
not
at the table
saying,
is
I
hurting.
didn't ask you, but what's your name anyway?
And the government's compensating them quite well as well.
What's your name?
Seth,
Good to meet you, Seth.
I
I'm
am
good to help.
their government representative at the moment.
Oh, that's why I didn't like you. Makes sense.
And you'll like me if I keep somebody from putting a bullet in you.
I'll
Which he
tolerate
has done
someone
multiple
being
times
putting a bullet in
over
me.
the past few days.
Mm-hmm.
Esther's just eating her food and I guess waiting for everyone to, I guess, get ready to go to the Elven Council.
So Esther, you want to go to the council and update after you're done with breakfast?
I mean, I think that's
Is that
we
what
should
you want to do next?
That's what I'm assuming we're going to go do next. Unless you don't want to tell the Elven Council Laughing.
No, we do at some point, but do you want to, I don't know, is there any preparations you need to settle? Any relatives that you have, like distant ones that you
What I
need to
really
reach out
do
to?
have to say about the Elven Council part
Hmm?
is we don't really have anything to report.
Yeah, we don't know where it
They're going to
is.
ask us, do we know where it is, as you just said, and they're
We need to research
either going
some.
to tell us that it's lost and it's not our problem anymore,
Yeah,
or keep looking on where it might be.
Mm-hmm.
Seth says one thing for sure, they're probably going to hear about what's happened.
Mm-hmm.
Al Capone's dead. There was a major raid on his hotel, and practically the hotel has been destroyed.
And a lot of civilians were shot too.
So the council's probably heard something already. And I've already
We just
reported to my government superiors, so news travels fast. They're probably going to want to hear from you regardless.
We also do have two potential leads. There's the lead with Victor, where he can do more research. Along that same vein, we're able to bring it to the ritual teacher back at the academy.
I mean, I should be able to recreate it, which means
And alternatively, which I don't really like bringing people fully back consciously as a rotting corpse, but I'm able to do that to Alexander Cole. And we can question him. We
actually,
just have to get access to his body.
talking to the dead again.
It's always one of our viable options.
Mm-hmm.
Seth says you'll probably want to go to the morgue pretty quick then.
Do you think Lane can tell us anything that happened? Should we check in on her?
Probably. She'll be at the infirmary at the college.
So what should we do first? Guys?
I think the Elven Council should take a back burner once again.
Okay.
And most likely lean on the Alexander Cole one. Definitely check on Lane because she's our friend.
I got a question.
Of course.
Do we all need to report to the council? And Victor looks directly at Seth when asking that.
I'm not part of the
who?
council. I'm part of the
Oh.
government.
All right, so no difference.
Yeah. He tells you the Elven Council is a separate, if you will. Think of them as the Amish.
So it's like its own little government, which
Yes.
means this is annoying. So do we all really need to go to give the same report?
Well, we're not going right now.
The only one that physically has
And
to
if
be
you're
there
asking
is
for yourself
Ether.
if you have to join, you don't have to if you don't want to. Hello?
I was more asking is the
Hmm?
I was more asking in case in the matter of because I know that the if we're following leads and such, I would also like to sit there and see if I can get more information at the college. And
Seth says if you're going to the college, you're going to have to become a member of the college if you wish to use its resources. That I do know. In other words, the government's going to own you just like they own these three.
I'd rather the government than the mafia.
Because there are benefits, though. Access to training, knowledge,
Room and board.
services,
Uh, Hal
and
kind of
also protection.
scrunches his nose at the idea of having to interact with the government directly. He almost actually seems a little nervous at the idea. He's like, is there a way I can get someone to like get the permissions without showing up personally?
No, he says. You will have to become a member of the college. It's like joining the military.
Well, can't we find the information for Victor if Victor doesn't want to join?
No, you know the materials remain in the college.
Yeah, but we could just like jot down notes. I don't know. We could like look up for the information that he's curious about or something. I don't know.
Says,
And then
he looks at you and he
Hal-
says, honestly, I'm here to support you guys. Do what you want. If you can find a
It's
way
just
to make it work, I'm not going to say a thing.
to make everybody comfortable. It's just an idea.
But you know how the government is.
Mm-hmm. It'd be
Odds-
easier if you just join.
Odds are they already know about Victor Howell. They probably already have their eyes on you, just like they do on all people with potential power.
No, that's yeah. They probably had their eyes on me for a while. Anyway,
Just like Al Capone's organization did. I imagine the South Side Gang already knows about the incident at Capone's place of business. So more than likely, South Side Gang's going to have their eyes on all of you now too.
That's great. Okay, so guys, what's the first on our agenda? Where are we going?
Well, so said that we
Lane
should go to the
first,
morgue pretty
or
fast. I said that so said we should probably go to the morgue pretty fast. So maybe that should be the first thing we do.
okay, so let's head to the morgue first. Everyone ready?
Before they get rid of the body, yes.
I was born ready,
Okay, let's go.
or reborn ready.
Okay, you folks head back into the main part of the city, down to the loop. See if anything happens. All of a sudden, there's an earthquake and you all get swallowed up by the earth. You all take 336 points of damage each.
Like,
Hey,
about 2
Well, I
points
can
left.
have by 1 hit point.
Are you still alive?
Yeah, 2 more points.
no, sweet release of death. I don't have to commit to the tax anymore.
All right, you head out of, you have a car now, right?
Yeah, I believe we still have a car.
Because I remember you got a car. So are you using the car to travel or are you going to go by rail? The trolley.
I guess we'll just be
Or-
in the car.
So you're just going to take a car?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you can all fit in it. It's a Chevy hardtop. And you head out, and as you're leaving the boundaries of the Elven tribal land, you, Victor Howell, feel something like a barrier, if you will. It's permeable, and you notice it quite readily. You didn't notice it the night before, perhaps because you were tired and all the excitement and everything else, but you feel it this time at the very point the tribal ant lands end. You notice a disruption in what you call it, the magical energies, if you will. like you just passed through a wall of very powerful magic into a area of less powerful magic, if you will. Do you say anything or do anything at this knowledge?
That kind of like whatever grogginess was left over on Hal's kind of like is kind of like jolted off, and he looks around and he's like, yeah, you guys feel that?
Yeah. To you, it felt like maybe you just jumped into a pool of water, is kind of what it felt like, the best way to describe it.
Oh, wait, let me repeat that. You guys felt that?
Definitely
Felt
did.
what?
It was something. It was.
Wait, did we all feel it?
Nope, just Victor Howell did.
Can I
I
roll
guess we're
for?
not.
It's,
Not
pri-
big.
Can I roll?
it's primarily because of her primary magic skill, her primary magic discipline. I'm sorry.
Mhm. Then no, we did not. I definitely did not feel that. What'd you feel?
Magic.
It's a little
Yeah.
chilly out.
You can go ahead. You can go ahead, Victor. You can go ahead and roll a roll against your intellect, or
And that's gonna be
your
the-
ritual magic skill, if you wish, whichever's better.
Is that going to be a D10 or D100?
It's a D10 for your rolling against your intellect, which is an attribute, or you can make a skill roll against your actual magic skill.
I'm gonna roll against my magic with the ritual skill. Oh no, dice get out. That is a 26.
The 26 and your skill is what?
64. I remember that because I rolled a 65 last time and I was upset about it.
Awesome. You made it by more than enough. You realize it's a ritual magic of protection in nature. It also has an ability to identify anything other than Elven that crosses the boundary. So in other words, from what you understand of this ritual, it basically causes alarms if anything other than an elf crosses the boundary, unless you've been pre-categorized. In other words, you've been allowed in.
Hal rubs the back of his neck and looks over at Aether and goes, you elves really don't play around, do you?
Uh-oh. Aether King fell asleep.
No, I didn't.
Screen's blank. Oh, there you are.
This is dark. Let me turn this thing back on.
You have some powerful ritual mages around amongst you?
Ritual?
Apparently, since you felt one.
Well, you didn't know about that barrier?
What barrier?
It's a protection barrier from what I felt.
From whom?
Blood magic.
Mm.
That is a very big, very specified spell. It's not anything anyone can just cast on their own, if it was even cast by one.
Yeah, you rolled well enough. You know, it took a ritual mage to create this ritual. You've sensed the barrier covers the entire length and breadth of the Elven nation.
Which is what,
Oh, okay.
like, that's gonna be how what?
So there's a ritual mage that is protecting the Elven lands? Is what you're saying?
Well, a ritual
At least
mage
one.
created a ritual to protect to put up basically a barrier against non-elves.
There's definitely a barrier. I don't know if it's being actively maintained. You'd have to keep maintaining that. There's no way you can just set it up and call it a day. It's way too
Wonder
much.
who's doing that.
I'm just saying, if you have your people are a little
Yeah, with the alarm function involved, you are correct. It's a maintained spell.
you're you got some scary folk there, I guess.
Only certain people are allowed in. And guests.
And guests.
I mean, we are part of a certain people right now.
As you
Yeah.
as you cross the boundary of the Elfin tribal lands, just down the street, only about a block, you see Leon leaning up against the lamppost where he always is, and he's watching you as you go by, and he waves with his big toothy grin.
I wave back.
He smiles bigger. All right, you continue on, you drive. Nothing apparently befalls you, but you all need to make an intellect check for me.
Okay.
Oh, baby.
This is just for knowledge.
2 out of 8.
6 out of 10.
If I say 8, I mean 2 out of 10.
5 out of 5.
Okay, for those of you that made it, you do
I got
notice
a 8.
8. Okay.
8.
Those of you that made your roll see a gray sedan pull off of a side street and begin following you.
Oh,
Uh,
It's nothing unusual. You've seen this gray sedan before. You believe it belongs to the Southside Gang.
Oh,
Uh,
you did say that they'll probably be targeting us now, right?
Oh,
Bugs
how
Murray.
close
Guys,
is
just
it?
let you know, we're being tailed.
It's nothing
Who's driving?
unusual. They've been tailing you since day one. But you
Mhm.
noticed them a lot quicker this time. They were obviously just a block down from the tribal lands.
Quick question.
Are we
The
trying to
car,
lose
is it
them, or do you
convertible?
want them to follow us? What are we
Who's-
trying to do?
Who's driving? I guess,
the owner of the vehicle.
which is
I
Astor
mean, it
Smith.
could be me. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be driving.
It is your car. You
I
got
know
it.
someone else decided to drive.
You got it from your company property, so you're driving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you didn't know, somebody in the car mentions that you just picked up a Southside Gang tail. Like I said,
Great.
you noticed it, but it's nothing unusual. You've had them tail you guys before.
Yeah, but after what we just did.
Well, you probably made them very happy after what you just did. You took out the competition. Well, kinda. Frank Nitti is still alive, so he's probably going to be the one taking over the Chicago outfit. But
Oh my God.
they're going to be disrupted for a while.
Yeah, I would I guess we can try and ditch them.
I mean, if they want to follow us, why not we get to it? Never mind. That's a dumb thought.
Let me go to my skills.
And for player awareness, if you don't know, the Southside Gang is run by Bugs Moran during this time frame. Frank Nitti was one of Al Capone's main lieutenants, and odds are he's going to become the next mob leader since Capone is dead.
Do you wonder how that happened?
What should I roll against for like a, what would that be, like a driving skill to ditch them, or like a
Well,
whatever?
first off, you need to make an intention that you're intending to ditch them, and if you are, then we can make a driving skill check.
Okay. So
And you'll make one, and if you succeed, they also get to make one, see if they can maintain the chase, as it were. You just don't want to crit fail.
okay. I wanna like try and get them off our tail.
Okay, so go ahead and make your driving check. Do you have a driving skill?
I do, but I just don't know what it's under. I didn't like have it fully written out just because I didn't know what group
If you didn't put points toward it, it's going to be equal to your base physical category. So in other words, it's a primary agility skill, but you'll roll off your physical category, your group.
Okay.
That'll be your base skill for driving unless you actually added points toward it to increase your driving skill.
Oh, okay. So
So what is your physical group score?
17.
17. So you got a 17% chance of attempting to, I mean, you have bonuses and stuff like that, or modifiers to your roll, depending on how extreme of the driving that you do. If you're just doing something simple, like going to make a quick turn off a side street, try and throw them, that's just a simple roll. The only problem you have to worry about is if you crit fail.
Yeah.
If you fail the roll, it just means you made the turn, but you didn't succeed in trying to lose them.
Okay. So I'll roll against 17.
On a D100.
I got 87.
87. Okay, you made a quick turn trying to throw them off. They follow you without a problem. They're still on your tail.
Dun dun dun.
I don't know how good I'm gonna be at trying to lose these guys.
Can I give you a hint?
Yeah.
DM hint? You guys are magic users. Why use a driving skill you don't have if you have the ability to use magic?
Yeah, but that's why I'm driving, so I'm not trying to do a spell while driving. That's why I said I'm having trouble.
So
Yeah.
how far is the car from us?
Well, they're on your tail. I mean, they're within at least 4 or 5 car lengths.
Like
you get
feet wide.
Aster Smith already sped up and flipped around a corner really quick trying to throw them, and they zipped around the corner right along with her.
Wait, so you're basically saying like I could like use my magic and make a wall, an air wall
You could do an
behind
air
us,
wall. You could send some
Let's,
puncture
and
their
like they'll
tires.
just crash into an air wall.
Let's not cause a traffic accident. They're not the only people who'd get hurt.
Well, it could be just like for a quick second.
So you could
They'll
do,
like
or
be creative.
hear me out. They just
I could lift the car
right now to a morgue. If they're gonna be tailing us and we're heading to a morgue, it'd be pretty easy to just get rid of the problem.
Once we get to the morgue.
Yeah.
So cause a scene at the morgue.
No. They'll either leave
or get
we're
rid
at
of the
the
problem
morgue.
before the morgue.
Or we just they want to start something while we're at the morgue. Well, it's not like there aren't places to put them away at.
So give them more bodies to take care of.
It's good work on their part.
They get paid per body.
Exactly.
So let them follow.
Right now they're just following us, and
They've been following
not
us
gonna
for
be-
how long?
It's not like we're going to a secluded area or anything like that.
They've been following us since we probably joined the academy. Probably even before that in my case, but you know.
I'm
they're
still
not
driving
gonna-
while all this conversation's happening. I don't know how close we're getting.
Like,
Well,
I'm
you
just saying,
gotta
there's
go
reason
downtown.
to cause there's no reason to cause a problem. They're not causing a problem with us right now.
But it might be
They want
fun.
to tail us, let them tail.
Yeah, just imagine you crash their car with magic. That'd be nice.
And imagine all the other people you're gonna hurt doing that.
Well, a lot of people were involved in the chaos yesterday.
What? Chaos.
Okay.
Because I just remember
Are we
the
gonna
wall
ditch them or
going
not?
down.
Because they're still on our tail, guys.
Well, it's not like you can lose them, so let's have them follow us.
It's not
I'm
like you're
indifferent
saying
and I don't
anything.
feel like
What
killing
super
people on a
special,
street right
special
now.
thing are we doing right now, huh?
You don't have to
Right
kill
now.
them.
So you keep going?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm still driving.
Okay, you keep going. 30 minutes later, you arrive at the morgue with Taylor's in tow. You see them as you pull up to the morgue and park on the road. You see them pull off to the road a few car lengths back as well. Nobody's getting out of the car apparently.
Okay. Well, I guess
Should
we're
we
going
walk
into
up
the
to their
morgue
car
then.
or should we just go in the morgue?
It's up
We
to
should
you.
just go in the morgue. Let's
in.
give them a very boring day, okay?
Okay.
Like I said, it appears to be nothing unusual. They've followed you before, and it looks like their MO is the same today. They're not getting out of the car, they're just parked.
Jeez, the bloodthirsty
So
one,
what are we
that
gonna
one.
say when we go in there? Like, I can say I want to go see like my dad. Maybe they're being held in the same room.
Probably.
Most likely they're from the same location.
Yeah, this is the hospital that you have arrived at, and their morgue is in the basement of the hospital. You know where it's at because you went down there to view your dad. I mean,
Brother,
no,
yeah.
your brother. So you know exactly where to go. It's not different.
Wow. View their dad.
Well, now you can view your dad.
Well, now we're going to view the
That's
dad.
Your mother is still missing.
No, isn't she like dead? 'Cause she was burned alive in the house.
You think so, but there's been no bodily proof. Remember?
Hmm.
So far as you know, she's dead because you knew she was at home. But like I said, they didn't pull any body from the fire that you know of.
Yeah.
But
Okay, so
you didn't get along with your mother anyway, did you?
no, not exactly.
so are we just walking into the
So we're
morgue?
in the
How
morgue
we-
now.
Yeah, you can easily walk down to the morgue and talk to the person down there that's in reception, which is some dude behind a desk. And you
Mhm.
get down there just like before, and he looks up to you. He actually recognizes those of you that showed up before to view the body of your brother. Same guy.
I give a
Same guy.
little wave.
When we
He
get up
smiles
to-
back at you.
I came here to see Abel Smith, my dad.
He says, "Yeah, he was brought in late last night." He breaks out of a log book and says, "Just go ahead and sign here, all of you that are going in." You all sign?
Okay.
Yeah.
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 There's no
Uh,
reason for us to stay behind like the last time.
Well, I was gonna actually have uh Victor stay behind.
Okay.
Yeah, he sits there and goes. He sits there, holds up his hands. He goes, Not me. I don't do well in these kind of places.
You want company?
Yeah, I'll take some company.
Okay, I guess it's just you two.
All right, so you two go in.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, you sign the ledger and go on in. And he says the doctor inside will tell you where the body is. So you go through the doors and you see one of the morgue doctors down there. He looks at you when you walk in. Says, who are you here to see?
April Smith.
He walks down this line of boxes that are set into the wall and pulls out a drawer.
Are
And
there any names posted on the doors or?
no tags on the feet. And you pull them out. When he pulls them out, he's feet first, and you see a tag tied to the father's toe, and it's got the name on there. Otherwise, the doors are all marked with numbers.
Okay.
You did see the doctor look at a ledger on his desk to direct you guys to that drawer.
Okay.
And he opens it up and he says, did you want to stay here for a while?
Yes.
He says, I'll leave you in peace for a little bit. Has there been any record on whether or not you're getting them ready for burial? What date?
No, I'm not sure yet.
You know, we can only store him here for another week.
Okay.
And about that time, they'll make the decision whether or not to cremate him unless you've made plans. But you'll need to let us know.
Cremation.
Very well. I'll put that in his record. He goes over to his desk. You see him write some stuff in the book. And then he closes the book and picks it up and carries it with him out.
Well, I put my hand on Aster's shoulder in comfort and say, take your time. And I begin just opening doors and checking tags. He took the ledger with him.
Okay.
Okay, so you start opening drawer after drawer.
Yeah. Aster's just staying with her dad and taking a moment.
Make a roll.
When you're in the background, all you hear is clunk, nope, clunk.
Okay, you open drawer after drawer after drawer. At some point, you end up seeing some guys you recognize from the firefight from yesterday, some of the mob boys. Then you also come upon Al Capone's drawer. And he's definitely in there. His body's still looking crushed in places from where all the big stones fell on him. And as you get to the last drawer and you open it, you see it is still not the body of Alexander. He doesn't appear to be in any of the drawers within this room. But a lot of the bodies you see in there were from the engagement yesterday. You recognize some of the people that you guys killed or you saw laying on the ground dead.
Is the body that Aster Smith completely crushed in there?
Yeah, like I said, you see pretty much all the bodies that you recognize there, except for Alexander's, which is strange. You figure his body should be here too, since all the other people from the firefight were here, including Capone.
Especially since I made sure that man was dead.
But you've gone through all the drawers in this room and you didn't see Alexander in here. There are some bodies on tables. You flip back their little tarps or look at their little toe tags. None of them are Alexander either.
Am I able to? Is there any documentation of the bodies at all left on the desk in the room, or no?
There's papers and stuff, basically some medical reviews of autopsies done. You scan those and no mention of the name Alexander in any of them. And the dates on them don't coincide with the battle from yesterday. So if they have any documentation, it's not here on this desk.
Okay. I'm just waiting until Aster's done and resolve to ask one of the doctors or morticians about it.
Okay, well, you know the mortician's out in the hallway waiting on you guys, so you could easily walk out there now and talk to him.
Yeah, I'll step outside and approach the mortician.
Okay, he looks at you. He says, "Are you guys all done?"
I actually have a question.
He says, "Of course."
I believe one of my friends may have been present during the firefight. He's a middle-aged gentleman that goes by the name of Alexander Cole. Was his body brought here?
Alexander Cole. He grabs his book and opens it up, and he says, "And his relation to you?"
A friend of my father that I knew growing up. I just wanted to pay my respects if he was here.
I see, but you're not a family. You're not related.
No.
Yeah, well, it won't hurt to let you know if he's here or not. He opens his book and starts skimming through it. Says, "Nope. Are you sure he was involved in the engagement yesterday?"
Yeah.
He's,
But
he's not on the list. Perhaps you were wrong.
I know he was on site, but it's relieving to hear that he's not among the dead, at least.
At least not here. And as far as I know and understand, the police said that all of the dead from that hotel were brought here, including Capone himself, believe it or not.
Well, got one of the most infamous people in the state right here.
Yeah, surprised the news service isn't surrounding us right now, but that'll probably be tomorrow when the news breaks. Got here just in time to beat the crowds.
Well, best to get here now before it would be too much trouble for my friend.
Exactly. Asher Smith, you doing anything?
After just she goes over to where everyone else is standing, probably by Al Capone, I'm assuming, and she's just, I guess, waiting for Nicholas to get back in.
So you're just waiting.
Yeah.
Nicholas, you feel a tingling sensation as you're finishing your conversation with the doctor. Like a tingle up your spine. Really creepy and feeling. Kind of gives you like a strange, like a snake running up your back. And then it lights on your shoulder and you look around. And for the briefest of seconds, you thought you saw fangs. But then there's nothing there. Anyway, you look around and Nicholas Mazzari is no longer with you, Aster. He walked out into the hallway.
Yeah.
So are you done?
Well, he has to be in here so that way he can,
Wait.
use his magic.
You saw him go through all of the boxes and mumble something that Alexander wasn't here. I'm going to go talk to the doctor.
Yeah.
Okay.
I figured we could have if Alexander isn't here, why not just ask Capone?
No, he's not in here.
Well, no, Capone's in there though.
He is.
Yeah. So I said, I figure that
You
if
can't say anything to anybody. There's nobody near you.
Oh, everybody's out of the room.
Nope.
Yeah, it was only you and
Only you and Nicholas
Oh
were
my
in
gosh,
that
that's
room.
right. Oh,
Are you
my
good?
gosh.
I think Astor Smith's going to be the one passing out tonight.
I forgot. Okay. That's awkward. But anyway,
It's just grief. You're so like burnt out with grief of your father's death that you just were oblivious. That's okay. It happens.
Yeah.
Can't even
That's
shed a
basically
tear.
what she was doing. She was
Yeah,
just,
Victor-
saying goodbye and stuff, so she probably didn't even notice he left the room, but she assumes that he's coming back in, so
But he didn't.
they
So
continue.
you're in there and you realized he was gone. You heard him mumble something, you just don't remember what. Now you're in there all by yourself.
That's
What are you
just
gonna
so
do?
awesome. I guess find Capone's body, like I said previously, and just wait there. But how long have I been waiting?
Oh, you've been in here for a little while. You're not sure of the time because of your grief.
Yeah.
Nobody's coming
Well,
back in though.
Okay.
Everyone's like,
I
we're all
think
just
she's
on
gonna wait
time.
a little longer before just leaving, because she walks out, then like why would she just go back in and ask for alone time again?
Is she okay in there? She's been in there a while.
Are you gonna go back in at all, Nicholas?
Yeah, I'll go back in.
Okay.
Um,
Aster Smith standing there tapping her foot and has her arms crossed waiting for you.
But no, no. When she notices you come in, so Capone's here.
yeah, I know Capone's here. Um, Alexander's not.
Well, do you think we could probably ask him?
I guess it wouldn't hurt. I'll meander over to Al
Mm.
Capone's
Wait, maybe that's not a good idea.
body.
What?
What do you mean?
Oh, well,
We're prepared to raise a body today.
and well, I mean, what if he is like angry and makes like a whole scene in here, and the mortician comes in?
His body's crushed.
He'll
It's
be,
not like he's gonna move anywhere.
it's
Okay.
not like he's gonna move. He'll be bound under my control.
Okay, well, I guess let's ask him.
So what spell are you casting? What are you gonna do? Bring his spirit back to talk to him?
I'm gonna bring his spirit back to talk to him within the body using my death magic and control to animate the body and also bind it so I'm able to make it so he stops talking or and
Okay.
whatnot.
All right, you get
And
that with the synergy, you get that plus 20 bonus, plus you get another 10% bonus due to the fact that you have the body present. So go for it.
Okay.
Got a 30 bonus to your skill.
73 against 113 then
You're good.
with the 30 bonus.
One of Al Capone's eyes is not damaged, kind of flutters open, and his mouth kind of like parts a little bit amidst his broken jaw, and you hear him. He lets out a
I'll-
gasp. But he's present. What are you going to ask?
Hey, Uncle Al, do you remember the mage Alexander Cole?
Yes.
Do you know what his plans were after he passed off the relic?
To achieve his wife and daughter. Bring them back from the dead.
And where might it have been transported to achieve that goal?
Cairo.
What was that?
He said Cairo.
Cairo. And if I may press further, who may be in possession of it as of this moment?
Ian Holderman.
I jot down this information on my hand
And he
because I don't have.
Yep. And
My
he's,
character's also jotting
and-
it down.
and then he says, Grand Mage of the Cult of Set.
Grand
Oh.
Mage of the Cult of Set.
Okay. Do you know what the goal of the Cult of Set is? And what was your goal with working with them?
I don't. I run booze.
What was your affiliation with the two?
I give people what they want. Alcohol.
I turn to Aster and ask her if she has any questions for him.
No, I guess that covers it.
You see his broken jaw trying to like formulate more words, just a groan comes out.
Okay.
Then he says, get me out of here.
I completely release his spirit
Oh,
in that moment.
not what
He's out of there.
not what he wanted.
Oh.
All right, you see his body go limp.
All right,
He's out of
let's
here
go.
now.
So what was his name again? You said it was Leon something?
Ian Holderman.
Ian
Holder.
Ian. Holderman.
No, there's no Leon. Not after what you did.
Holder.
Oh, there's a Leon, but that's the orc.
Oh, I don't.
Ian Holderman, Grand Mage of the Cult of Set, and they're in Cairo.
Yeah.
That's what you heard.
In where?
Cairo.
Cairo, Egypt.
So I'll lead the way out of the room. And respond and be like,
The doctor looks up when you come out and he says, you're all done?
Yes.
And he says, Miss Smith, I will assure you that we will give your father proper due respects. Do you wish to be here the day we cremate him?
Will that be tomorrow?
We can make it tomorrow if you wish.
Okay.
Okay, I'll have you on the calendar for tomorrow, 9 a.m. Does that suit you?
Yeah, that works.
Very well. I'll have all the paperwork filled out and ready for you when you arrive.
Okay, thank you. All right, and then we
Very
head
sorry
out.
for your loss.
We're leaving.
You could stay the night with him if you wish.
We're already down the hallway. I guess we make it to where everybody is waiting for us at.
You're already there.
Okay, cool.
It's just the front office and then the back lab where all the bodies are.
Yeah, Hal's been kind of like sorting through for any like recent newspapers in the office.
Okay, you find some. They're about a day old though. Not from, no current newspapers in here right now.
No, no, not from like the night before. Hal's just more looking for information of like what's been going on in the outside world. You know, since he was captured and held in a basement for an extended period of time.
Okay, so catching up on current events.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He's not gonna process, being kidnapped against his will with
Yeah.
very little anything like that. But he'll figure out what's going on and see if any mention of him disappearance has been around.
Nope, nothing in the papers that you see. No mention of you whatsoever.
That's odd for a popular lounge singer.
Not that you weren't mentioned in a newspaper, just not the newspapers that are here in this office,
Yeah.
which is just yesterday's.
Yeah.
I asked Nicholas. So you said he wasn't here. Is there another hospital nearby, maybe? Alexander, that is.
There's more hospitals, but all the bodies that you understand would have been brought here from that crime scene.
Well, yes, but I didn't hear that information.
I know you were in grief, but they were talking about that with the doctor, or at least Nicholas was.
Yeah.
All the bodies from yesterday's event are supposed to be here. So
Does that
I'm
mean
under the impression that Alexander Cole's body has either been disposed of or collected.
or
Because
yeah.
maybe their cult members will still try to fulfill his wish and
I'm sorry.
also bring
Cult
him back
members?
along with it.
I guess I
Right.
just hope he's
We'll
not
fill
like
you in a much more private location about this.
Yes, please do.
The
Speaking
desk clerk is listening in on your conversation with Keen.
Hmm.
No, I assumed you guys were outside talking about this.
Speaking of, we still have our little our little flies on the walls. Do we want to play a prank on them?
Yeah, our followers are still behind watching.
I mean, does anybody know how to pop a tire right now?
Well, no. I thought
Well, you
it'd
were
be
just
funny if
gonna go over to
well,
their
I know
car
there's
and stick a needle in there and then walk away casually like we did. Just do it.
Air bullet.
Yeah,
no. I mean that would be one way of doing it. But I mean, like if they
Master Smith might be able
nosy
to
and
do an
follow
ice
people
spike
around,
through the ground.
Mm-hmm.
they want to be nosy and follow people around. I mean, there's this one lounge I frequent on occasion. And I think they would get a real kick out of some boys like that coming for a visit.
They don't usually come inside. They just sit and watch and wait for us to come out.
Mm-hmm.
well, we should probably just go back now and discuss
Are we gonna check on Lane?
that. Okay, we can stop by the college first. They won't follow us into the college, so
Probably not.
let's
Will
go
Victor
do
be
that.
able to come in with us to the college?
Who?
Who?
Victor?
Yeah.
Okay.
They
Just
won't
making
let
sure.
her. They won't let Victor get past registration though.
Okay.
You get to enter the courtyard
She'll be.
briefly.
You'll be stuck in registration while the rest of you will be let in.
They won't even let me use the bathroom there?
No, you'll just be in the lobby. You'll use the bathroom in the lobby, but you'll be in the college's lobby area. They won't let you pass the access point. This is a government-run college, so there are armed guards in the lobby.
So we headed to the
Yeah.
college?
Yeah, just to let Victor know, you know all about this college. They've approached you in the past before you were basically made a prisoner by Al Capone, which you haven't been a prisoner for too long, maybe about 3 months. At
No,
most.
I think yeah, I know. Victor's very, very familiar with the college.
Yeah, they've invited you in the past multiple times. And you've also had your gangland tales. So the Southside gang has followed you, Capone's gang has followed you. And then when they were definitely sure that you had some hold of power, and as you were a lounge singer in his own joint, they basically absconded with you since they had an opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, you head to the college.
Okay.
You get into the main lobby, and you can pretty much go. I mean, it's your school. You can pretty much go wherever you guys want to go, except for Victor.
I'm gonna try and go find Lane.
The guard behind the desk says, "Who's this?"
It's just our friend. They're gonna wait here for us.
Very well.
We'll be right back, Victor, okay?
Yeah. I promise I won't get into any too much trouble. And then as he sits there and says that I'm gonna assume there's college pamphlets and stuff on like the desk and everything.
Yes. Seth says,
Yeah,
I'll stay with him.
Okay.
He yeah, Victor's just gonna grab one of the pamphlets, open it up, and look at the receptionist and kind of lean in and go, so why don't you tell me about this college, Toots?
The receptionist is a guard. It's
Yeah.
a male. It's a male. And
he
looks,
what are you talking
he
about?
looks he didn't look excited when you walked in, but when you walked in and started talking to him, all of a sudden now he's very excited to tell you everything about the college that he possibly can. And he intermixes it on occasion with a request for your autograph.
What?
He apparently knows who you are.
Oh, you've been to some of my performances, huh?
Oh yeah, I remember when you did a performance over at this place and that place. You were great. Yeah.
And how smirks looking at him, he's like, looking him up and down, like, I didn't think you were that kind of sort.
What kind of sort? He raises an eyebrow.
Hal primarily sings for drag shows.
Oh, does he?
Yes, because of how pretty he is.
But he doesn't know that side of you. There wouldn't have been a drag show at Capone's joint, that's for sure.
Actually, yeah, no, the drag performances were very popular around that time period.
Oh yeah, I mean they had them, but they wouldn't have been in Capone's joint. Capone's outfit was noted for cheap booze. The Southside gang was noted for the high quality stuff and the high quality entertainment and the diverse entertainment, whereas Capone's gang was all about brothels and alcohol clubs. So because of where you were at, that's probably where he saw you. So he doesn't know about the drag shows per se. He might have heard about them, but he doesn't know about them. But you probably entertained in those joints, probably in the north side of Chicago or in the Loop somewhere that weren't associated with Capone's outfit. Capone was all about getting as much cheap alcohol out there as possible.
Yeah.
In the seediest joints possible. So yeah, he's excited to see you.
So yeah, Hal's gonna what's the word? Yeah, Hal's gonna give him his autograph.
Awesome. Were you going to do anything specific with this guard?
Was actually genuinely curious about learning about the more about like the college's registration and everything like that.
Okay. He begins detailing all of the information to you about the registration and classes and the government's responsibilities to its students, and that you can get free accommodations, free food, free this, free that for being a registered student, and so on and so forth. So he's going on the whole spiel. It's hard to get a word in edgewise with him too, because he's just so excited. Yeah, your trait works on both sexes, by the way.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Basically, if a person makes a failed roll against their willpower, they're enamored by you.
So Hal kind of sits there and smiles at him. He's like, any this the signing up for this college actually sounds like a pretty interesting idea, but I don't think I'm quite sold on the thing. You think there's any chance I could get a tour of the facilities, see what I'm signing up for?
The guard starts to open his mouth, and Seth looks at him and he says, "Watch it." And you see the guard's mouth snap shut. And he says, "I'm afraid that won't be possible."
Not even just some of the classrooms?
He glances over at Seth real quick, and then he looks back at you and he says, "No, I'm afraid not."
Let's see. Well, it's hard to sit there and want to sign up for something if you can't learn anything more about it.
He looks at you and looks at Seth, looks back at you, and he says, "Of course, you're always willing to return, and if you choose to join up with us, then we can give you a full tour of the facility."
I mean, if it's a private tour with you, I might consider it a bit more.
Seth looks over to you and says, "That's enough, Victor."
Victor looks over ever so ever with an art trial like, what's enough? I'm just saying.
I see what you're trying to do, and no, you can't.
Hey.
This is a government facility, and you see that door over there? It says government personnel only.
How kind of like leans in, lowers his voice. He's like, I didn't think the guard there was a government facility.
He is.
Well then, oh well.
He says, if you want to get past that door, sign up as a student.
Hal kind of pats Seth on the shoulder, and he's like, wasn't talking about the door anymore, but okay. And walks to go sit down in the lounge.
Seth
in the lobby.
Seth walks over with you and sits down right next to you. Apparently, your ability doesn't work on him. No, then again, he does have a pretty high willpower, and he.
Oh, wait! Before sitting down, Hal stops in his tracks, looks back over at the guard, and goes, "Oh yeah, what's your name?"
Yeah, he tells you his name's Jordan. Jordan Hayes.
We should talk about chatting outside of sometime, Jordan.
He says, "We can go now." Oh no,
huh?
I can't leave my post. I'm sorry.
When you're off the clock.
He says, "Of course, anytime."
And then he sits down.
Okay. As you sit down, every so often you see Jordan glance up at you as he's doing his work. which is not
How-
much. You just-
Yeah, how always gives him like a small smile when he does.
Okay. Back to you guys. What are you guys doing? You enter the
Trying to
college.
find Lane.
Yeah, you go to the infirmary, which is in the back portion of the college. You actually have to cross the open air courtyard to the building behind all of the other buildings. And you go into the infirmary and find Lane's room. They let you right in, of course. And she is sitting up, eating her breakfast. It's only about 11 a.m. You see one of her
Alright.
arms is fully in a cast, one of her legs is in a cast and raised up by some kind of weird contraption. And she's like, hello, how are you guys doing?
We're all right. Just came to check up on you.
She says, thank you very much for getting me out of that place.
Of course.
I'm sorry we didn't make it sooner.
Heh, you made it, and I'm still alive. Not too much the worse for wear. Doctor said I should be back on my feet in another month or so.
That's good news.
That's good.
Would you mind us asking what happened in there?
But you can ask all the questions you want. I don't know much. They kept me in that small room.
Oh, they kept you in the small room?
Yes. And they did things, but I won't get into that.
It's okay. You don't have to. But I'm just glad that you're alive and getting better.
Did you get Alexander?
Yeah, we did.
Good.
Splattered his brains on the wall.
Even better. And when they were hauling me out, I saw Capone's body on the floor too.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. We saw him also.
Did you guys get what you were looking for?
No.
Well, we're looking for you guys, but our other objective, no.
Yeah, and Lane looks over to you, Aster, and says, I'm sorry about your father. I saw him too.
Yeah. No, but we didn't find what the other thing we're looking for down there. The torque. Somebody named Ian has it. Took it
Yes.
somewhere.
Yes, he was there. I didn't actually see him, but the guards talked about him. Apparently he's a very creepy individual. And also
Creepy.
a spellcaster. Yes, none of the guards liked him.
Did they say how he was creepy or?
Not in so many terms. They just did not like him. Apparently they gave him the shivers.
Hmm.
Scary like.
Well, he is an evil cultist.
Ian Holderman.
Sounds German, she says, but I've never heard him speak.
I mean, he went to Cairo, if that gives anything.
You guys
Didn't
going
want
after
any-
you guys going after him?
Well,
Possibly.
he has the torque, and we've been assigned to look for it.
Well, if you go after him, I'd like to go too.
You would like to go as well?
Yeah, I could heal up on the trip. I mean, it takes what, 2 or 3 months to get across the Atlantic anyway.
I
Bring
mean,
me-
that's true.
Bring
Are
me
you
with
sure
you.
you want to though?
Yes. I want to get
Well,
my pound of flesh.
That's up to you. If you want to come, you're always willing to tag along.
All the
with
way
us.
to Egypt?
Yes, like I said, I could heal up on shipboard.
I'll have to brush up on Egyptian, or not even brush up, just learn it.
We'll come back and let you know what we've decided, okay?
Okay.
For now, just rest up.
Yes, if you go, bring me with you.
We will.
I
Of
want my
course, but you
revenge
better
too.
stay a lot closer the next time around.
Huh?
Don't want to lose you again.
He says, of course. You need to learn Egyptian? She looks to you, Aster. She says, there's a professor in the school here that knows Egyptian.
I want to learn too. We'll look into
Okay.
that.
The
Thanks,
government,
Lane.
the government might even allow him to come along as an interpreter.
As long as he's good enough at self-defense,
I do
because
have a
we're not
languages
going into
skill.
a magical hot zone.
I have a languages skill. I just kind of named it languages.
It just means you can. It's kind of a linguistic thing. So since you didn't pick a specific language and you picked the languages skill,
Yeah.
um, that'll let
got
you know what
the-
that'll let you know what language is being spoken.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
remember
didn't
you-
know if it was possible to roll on it while trying to learn.
Oh, you
Egyptian
can, but
would
like
be
I said,
easier.
that's not necessarily what the skill is for. It just gives you an ability to tell what language is being spoken.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's fine.
it's kind of like linguistics. Yeah, you may not know what they're saying, but you can tell, you can glean some information out of it using that. So it's kind of like a jack of all trade for languages. You can tell
Yeah.
what language is being spoken, and you might be able to determine the content, not necessarily the words.
Yeah.
So this person's really angry with me, and she's speaking German.
Yeah.
I got you guys if we go to Italy.
Mhm.
So you guys leave?
Yeah, we're gonna look for that
Yeah.
professor.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for the professor, and ask him if he'll teach me.
Okay.
Me too.
Aster,
Mhm.
you may want to show the notes to the ritual professor here.
That too.
Okay, so who are you gonna go see first?
I'm gonna go to the one that speaks Egyptian first.
Yes.
Okay. You head to the languages department. You ask the receptionist for the teacher that knows Egyptian, and basically he knows Egyptian and Arabic, and all of the Arabic dialects. And they send you to him. His name is Raoul.
Okay.
Yep, and he is currently holding class.
Okay, so that
Oh.
means we'll have to wait.
You can
Can't
wait,
disturb
or
us.
you can wait, or you can speak to the receptionist, set up an appointment.
Oh yeah. Could we set up an appointment with Raul, please?
Of
Professor
course.
Raul?
Yep. He's got classes all day, but before the end of the school day, you can probably speak to him around 5 p.m. tonight, if you wish.
Oh yes, definitely.
Okay.
Thank you.
I will put you on the schedule.
Much appreciated. We'll be back.
All right. Now you're going to head to where? The ritual?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ritual instructors in the ritual wing, which is not in this part of the main complex, but one of the side buildings to the north of this complex. You get there and speak to the receptionist, and he is also holding classes all day.
Uh-oh. Is there someone we can make a schedule with there too?
Yep, there's a receptionist here as well, and you speak with them, and they can schedule you for tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.
That sounds great.
What's that professor's name?
Because 9 o'clock is where you need to be, Esther. So we could come here first for the 8 o'clock, right?
Yeah. But what's his name?
Nadine Sinclair.
Is what?
Nadine Sinclair is the professor of ritual magic.
Nadine. What was the last name?
Sinclair.
Sinclair. Okay.
Okay.
So now you got appointments for Wu and Nadine.
Okay.
Where to next?
We should probably
I
head back to
continue.
Victor.
Well, yeah, we probably burnt like an hour and a half by this point.
Yeah, it was only 30 minutes to get down to the morgue, 30 minutes back. So you've only burned about an hour plus the time you spent in here.
So we head
Okay.
back to Victor and everyone else.
Yeah. It didn't take you long to set up these appointments, so 20 minutes at most. They've been waiting. Seth is looking grumpy when you walk into the lobby. He's sitting right next to Victor. And you
Victor
see,
has
Hey, guys.
absolutely been
you see
pestering
the
him the whole
you
time.
see the military guy behind the desk winking at Victor every so often.
Uh-oh.
So, who wants lunch?
I can eat.
Me too.
Okay.
Seth gets up, kind of like growls under his breath and says, "You guys need to watch this one." And he points down at Victor.
Look, just because some of us are trying to have lives outside of their work and, enjoy themselves doesn't mean you have to be a grumpy pants about it. I understand. It must be really hard to find someone when your face is all scrunched up in a scowl like that.
This guard, too, from battle. He's a World War I veteran. He's got some pretty nasty scars across
I'm
his
talking about
face.
his scowl, his expression.
Oh, yeah, that makes it even worse. He looks like he has a
Not
scowl
his
normally.
scars. The scars are rugged. The scars are rugged. That's a handsome feature. That the way you quirk your lip up and furrow your brow and disdain and disgust on the other hand, really just not working for you.
She's trying to finagle her way into the school. So you need to watch him.
Do
And,
you
you
want
Could
to
always
sign
become
up?
a student.
So I'm actually sincerely thinking about signing up. He's just mad because I was flirting.
I
Who
do
knows?
recommend it. We
Maybe-
have specialists.
Maybe Seth is jealous.
Oh, okay. It's gonna be fun
Well-
building a character.
We got appointments set up to speak with Professor, so we'll have to come back here a little later. So let's get lunch and come back around 5 to talk to Raul.
Same restaurant across the street.
Yeah.
And that's the plan.
Okay, bits and bites it is.
Mhm.
All right, you arrive. The clerk, same clerk that you that served you for several years now, is in there. He greets you all. He says, "I haven't seen you guys in a while. Where you been?"
Very busy.
Super busy.
Yeah.
I imagine that school keeps you quite busy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing for you guys?
Yeah, the usual.
Okay. He heads in the back, starts, you hear dishes and pots and pans clanging. And a second later, he comes back out and he asks the newcomer, your friend, what does he want? He's looking at you.
How kind of looks a little bit not unsure and kind of looks at
It's a
the rest
very,
of the table and goes, any suggestions?
it's a very Italian menu. But pizza is his specialty, he tells you.
Ooh. Think you can I'll do those New Yorkers for their pizza?
Well, this is good Chicago pizza. The best you'll have in town. Even better than that joint down the street.
Oh, well then. How about you cut me your favorite slice of your favorite?
Says very well. He heads into the back. After a while, you guys gonna do anything while you're waiting for the food?
Um, since this is our place of usual discussion, I feel more comfortable to start talking cult business
Mm-hmm.
to catch Victor up
I'm just
and
looking
everyone else.
around to see if we're still being followed.
Well, you do notice that Seth is taking his post right by the door looking out. So he'll probably warn you if there's anything untoward going to happen, like he usually does.
Yeah.
So,
You always had
Victor,
your government representative watching you guys whenever you were here in the
Yeah.
past.
Mm-hmm.
Well, previously it was Lane, now it's Seth. All right, go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted. Bad
Okay.
DM.
Victor, to start off with, this whole incident starts with Alexander Cole and more of his associates. While following all our leads, we've come across some research materials pointing towards a group that calls themselves the Cult of Set. A lot of snake iconography, as well as based off the following of the god of Set, they are based in Egypt, or originating thereof. We,
Speaking on that, remember when we were in the library looking for whoever they were worshiping, and you were being told to stop looking into it by spirits?
yeah, try and make me stop looking into that old one.
Do you did you get anything back from that at all? Or
Not really, but most likely, um, that's the being that I'm going to be having some quarrels with and has been interacting with us as a group, besides, good old friend Alexander Cole and our new good old friend that's going to be causing us issues. Nicholas looks at his hand to make sure he has the information right. Ian Holderman, the Grand Mage of the Cult of Set.
yeah.
You say that, and Hal's eyes widen and his face scrunches, and he's like, ooh, maybe I should have stopped him.
Who
Seth
most
look
likely teleported to Cairo.
and Seth looks down at you with the torque.
Mm-hmm.
Then he looks back out the window again.
Well,
that's
so
where
do
we
you think
stand.
we're in danger from this god they worship?
Yes.
Um like what do you think he could do? Like attack us?
You guys remember Ruby?
Yeah.
Most likely one of the two, either Ian or their god, had some form of interaction with that. Or at least that's my assumption, because obviously Alexander Cole did not have the affinities for it.
I don't know if you guys remember, but you all met Ian Holderman at the very beginning of the campaign.
At the very beginning?
Was
Very
he at the
beginning.
table with
The very first session.
was that when was it Bugs Moran?
That's when they had the Valentine's Day massacre, and you were going through the warehouse, and you ran into the first time you ran into his little imps.
Also,
Well,
he was
yeah,
the
we
group
went there, and there was no one there except for the bodies and the imp, right?
Yep, and then he showed up. You
Oh, but I
remember?
wasn't
I thought
there.
Alexander Cole showed
Yeah,
up.
you were in the other room. No, that
Yeah,
wasn't
so I
Alexander
didn't-
Cole. That was Ian Holderman.
Um,
So your very first encounter in game was with Ian Holderman and his imps. So
I
every
thought that
time
was-
every time
I
you've
didn't see
seen
that.
the imps, they were controlled by Ian Holderman.
Hmm.
Well, the goblins.
yeah, goblins.
Who was the goblin one?
Yeah, he's the one that controlled the goblins. Alexander Cole doesn't have the ability to control goblins or summon them.
So he's probably a summoner primary.
From what you've
I
learned
mean-
so far, yes.
If this man can teleport, he better be a ritualist primary. Otherwise, I have a lot to learn.
You can learn, like I said,
I mean,
any
if
of
someone
you
said
can
that-
learn to do a ritual, but if you're a ritual mage, it makes it a lot easier.
I was gonna.
So Victor Howell could actually teach you rituals.
Huh. That's wonderful.
And if Victor Howell finds a ritual circle, Victor can determine what it's used for, if you roll good.
How soon is it till the 5 o'clock meeting?
Yeah, we can advance time if you want.
Uh,
That's if you're all done.
Did we get our food?
You will once you're done talking, I suppose.
Any questions about what's going on, Victor?
No, I think I understand. I don't like what I'm hearing, but I think I understand what's going on here. I you have your little meeting to go to. I need to go tell some people I'm not dead while you do that.
Hmm, I don't know if you want to separate from us now that we're being patrolled by gangs. They're probably gonna just take you.
Seth looks over at you. He says, "They're out there right now. Probably not a good idea to separate."
Yeah, because they'll
Well,
definitely take
there
you.
really isn't much to for me to do if I just follow along. And I don't like the idea of joining organizations. They don't let me sit there and see what I'm joining first. So
But you don't
Now that
have
we
to.
have-
You don't have to join the school to be under the government's protection.
is that your way of offering to help me out with my errands?
That's my job. My job is to keep you all together and keep you out of the gangland's hands or foreign powers' hands. We prefer it if you join the college, but even if you don't join the college, we're still required to protect individuals of power.
Well, in any case, you shouldn't separate from us now. You're kind of now known in this little group, especially with whoever's following us.
Unless
You're
you want to
most
go
likely a
from
target now.
prisoner of Al Capone to prisoner of Bugs Moran. He opens the door, crack, suit yourself. He says no, and closes the door again.
Out of character for a moment. I do not want to just have my character sitting in a lobby for however long a meeting takes.
You have out of character. You can easily leave the group if you wish, and do something on the side while they're doing that. But there are dangers, is basically what Seth is insinuating, along with the other characters, because you're actively being followed right now by the Southside Gang, and you make yourself a target if you're a lone power user that separates from the group. But yeah, you don't have to sit in the lobby the entire time. Since you know,
You're not really giving logical choices here for that.
I'm giving you the only choices you got.
Yeah, not really.
You don't have to join the organization, but that just means you can't enter the side rooms unless you find a way. But you couldn't find a way because Seth was with you at that moment. And he was only with you at that moment because the others were inside the campus. You weren't. So you were alone. And his job is to protect power users. It's the only reason why he was sitting with you out front. And then he saw what you were trying to do. So you can still attempt to finagle your way in. There's always that possibility. Not everybody in the campus knows who you are. So if you find a way in, odds are the people inside aren't going to know you can't belong there.
No, I'm thinking about how to approach, because I actually do want my well, I wasn't even thinking about doing the campus. I actually sincerely did think character-wise he'd probably go to maybe his usual, probably the spots that he is close to, and try to like tell people like, hey, I'm not dead.
Mm-hmm.
You know, since he's been missing for a while.
Well, I mean, if you
could always ring them.
you could always like
Mhm.
ask us to go with you.
Or you could just sneak off by yourself to go and do that and then pop back up like, hey guys, I ran a little errand.
Yeah, we're just saying you might not want to just be on your own.
Yeah,
You just have
I
to
get
handle
it.
those
I guess I'll just
situations.
follow along for now.
Nicholas does also want to separate from the other two that are just going to be staying in the academy,
Right.
because he has something that he wants to deal with. So Victor, if you want to go and alert your friends and family, if you want to, I'll
I
accompany
prefer my
you.
family think I'm dead.
I have things that I want to attend to, while the other two are learning a new language.
Well, I wouldn't mind oh, that sounds like a plan.
Victor's like, great, I'm always going to have somebody there. Now, Aether King and Esther Smith, you're both going to go into college and speak to the English. Are you going to ask for anything specific, or just like instruction on Egyptian stuff? What's your goal?
instructions.
I'm gonna ask for a crash course. And
If anything, he'll probably give you materials and stuff like that and give you a few pointers. So we'll let you guys go do that, and we'll focus on Nicholas and Victor.
Okay.
So what are you two going to do? You decide to separate. Do you want Seth to go along with you? Because he looks like he's aiming to, since the other two are going to be in the college, looks like he's gearing up to go along with you two. I get the impression Victor and Seth don't get along.
Oh, I don't mind. I don't. Sorry.
I would obviously accept Seth's company.
Well, Seth doesn't really get along with anybody though, so he's even grumpy with the other ones.
Yeah, he is.
All right, so what you guys gonna do?
Well, I guess for right now, Victor's gonna accompany well, looks over at Nicholas and goes, so what's it you wanted to do?
We can handle your business first.
All right. Well, there's this small. It's not a lot to look at, but it's a smaller lounge and there's someone there that I want to make sure knows I'm all right.
Some of the places that you're used to are probably here on the north side of Chicago. Unless you talking about some of the fancier places, which will be in the loop.
No, it's more like not exactly a lounge. It's more like a coffee shop
Oh, okay.
and stuff. It's just, you know how some places have people come in and perform and stuff like that,
Mhm.
where a lot of people might busk or something for that in the places like that.
Right.
Victor doesn't come from the best family life background, and the person who helped him get his start as a lounge singer is there,
Okay.
and it's someone he views as family to him.
Perfect. Do you have a name for the establishment?
New Moon. It's the New Moon Cafe.
Okay. New Moon Cafe. North side of Chicago, Nicholas, you've heard of it. It's also run by Bugsy Moran. Well, it's part of his racket, as you will, as a front.
Sounds like a fun place to go right now.
Yeah, your father has taken you there a few times. Was to see your father beat somebody down in the back room.
The good old days. Before he knew better.
And they moved from baseball bat to crowbars when they shuffled you out of the back room.
Well, I know the place. We can start heading there now.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess they're gonna. I guess we're gonna take the
It's
the
just
tram over.
it's just a block up. You're already in the North Chicago at the college.
So yeah, we can walk over there.
So it's one block north of the college along the strip where there's also a couple of low end speakeasies along the same block. But you get to the coffee shop and you go in and your friend is already there. It's like still late morning. It's almost noon. So what's his name? I imagine you got a name for him.
Yeah, so they're a barista there.
Okay.
Probably, honestly, the person more or less running the shop
Right.
as the proprietor, as the host. They're an older. It's an older gentleman with graying hair,
Okay, he's there.
and his name is his name is
You didn't have
Jonathan Walker.
Jonathan Walker. You didn't have any of this worked out beforehand, huh? I assume it was part of your backstory.
Yeah,
I apologize for putting you on the spot.
yeah. His name's Jonathan Walker, but most people just kind of call him Lucky.
Okay, so Jonathan Walker, Lucky is behind the counter. And about this point, I need you to both make a willpower check,
Oh, baby.
which should be pretty easy for both of you.
That's it.
4 against a 5. Let's go.
Oh, you only have a 5 willpower? I thought you had higher.
Yeah. No, my intelligence is stacked. My
Ah,
everything else isn't so much.
I rolled an 8.
You've got an 8.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. You make your willpower check. The first thing you notice, Nicholas, is a chill to the air as you walk in. The next thing you notice is a snake running itself up the back of Victor's body and wrapping itself around his neck. And the head all of a sudden springs out. I mean, it's just like it just sprung out of nowhere. And its face opens up in fangs and snaps right into Victor's cheek. What do you do?
I will swat at the snake first off.
It's firmly wrapped around Victor's neck. If you swat the snake, you're going to swat Victor.
Oh. Grab for the
Make an intellect check before you actually make a decision on what
Yeah.
you're going to do.
Okay.
There's probably something you'll notice.
6 against the 10.
Okay, you notice Victor doesn't even flinch to the bite.
Hmm.
Just scratch his cheek.
So
We'll get to you in a second. You made your roll too.
I would like to do I have a way to like send spiritual things away? What would I roll on that?
Yeah, you can attempt to banish it, yes. Using the same skills as you use to bring them to you. You can attempt it. But that's a contest of wills, just like it is if you're trying to contact the dead.
Okay. That's what I would like to do. Try to send this spirit snake away, or hallucination snake away. Would I just roll on willpower?
No, your skill. You're actually casting a spell, right? You're creating a spell to banish the snake using
Yeah.
using your life and death magic, all that neat stuff.
Directly interacting with a spirit. Let's go. 28 against my 83 spellcasting skill.
Okay, so you cast your spell. Victor, you, since you made your roll as well, notice a chill in the air. All of a sudden, I mean, it just brought up. You just started to smile to your friend behind the counter. Your friend started to smile behind the counter. When all of a sudden, for some reason, you just turn around and look at Nicholas, who's standing kind of like side by side. But Nicholas looks like he's getting ready to do something. And what you see is a very attractive female wearing next to nothing, just like finery. The garb, the outfit, everything else, the tiara around her forehead looks decidedly Egyptian. Except she's got snake-like eyes, and she has her arms wrapped around Nicholas's shoulder, kind of like in an embrace. And she's smiling at you. What are you gonna do? You see Victor like spouting some words out of his mouth as he's looking directly at you, like he's casting a spell.
I'm gonna summon Nicholas
You're gonna summon him.
and use control magic to snap him out of whatever daze
All
he's probably in.
Make an intellect check first.
Three plus 5.
Okay, the spell he's casting isn't threatening. You already know that. And it looks like he's doing something as like a reactionary move to something going on. And it's not necessarily directed at you. You can tell that much from the spell magic he's using. is from the spirit domain.
In that case, then I'm going to try to use summoning and control on the woman.
Okay. What are you going to try and do to her?
I'm going to try and essentially see if, for right now, I guess I'm trying to neutralize her as a threat, so I want her under my thrall.
Okay, just like you did to Al Capone then.
Yes.
Okay. What's your skill level?
For summoning and control.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, like my
Well, you have one magic skill, and it's based on your primary discipline, which is ritual magic. So you're going to be using ritual magic as your primary. Oh,
yeah.
Is ritual
so that's
is
64.
64. So you got a 64% chance, and you're using summoning and control as a synergy, right?
Yes, and
Like-
I'm gonna be putting in a third of my power points, so 2.
A third of your power points. So how many is that?
2.
2 points. All right, so a 2-point spell, you get a plus 20% bonus to your skill roll or to your skill. So 65, 75, 85. You get an 85% chance for the spell to go off successfully.
48.
48. Okay, what do you say to her when you cast a spell? Since you're attempting to control her.
Give me your name.
Nicholas, you cast your spell?
Yep.
All right. Nothing appears to happen. The snake is still attached to Victor's face. And at this point, you notice 2 decidedly feminine hands are basically toying with your chest, wrapped around you from behind. And you hear a whisper in your ear, "What's the matter, lover?"
I respond, "Who are you?"
Your spell doesn't appear to do anything. She's just looking at you, smiling, but you see her whispering in his ear, and you heard what she said.
My spell is ineffective.
She says, "You know who I am. Don't tell me you forgot me already." Your spell is active, but she didn't appear to respond to what you said. She's looking at you, smiling. Right now, one of her hands is toying with his chest. The other one's kind of just like in place, and she's whispering in his ear. You see snakes coming out of her from behind, and they're kind of like wrapping around his torso as well.
Release him.
Nothing is apparently happening.
So, to my knowledge, my spell failed, right?
No, your spell worked.
So she's
Your spell was successful. Either she is not present at the moment, which is a possibility, because you're not detecting any magic other than what he cast, or she passed a saving throw on her end. In other words, you had a contest of checks. So you know your spell was successful, but maybe it just didn't work on her. It didn't defeat her willpower, perhaps.
So it was unsuccessful.
Unsuccessful in that regard, yes, but the spell itself cast successfully.
All right.
But your guess, your immediate guess right now, since you did well on your intellect check, is that she's not even present. That there's no one there. And the next thing what were you going to do, Nicholas?
I was just going to respond and say, I have no recollection of who you are.
You hear, "Come to Cairo." And then you see the snake around Victor's neck disappear. It disappears in just like it breaks apart into like a mist or smoke or something. And you now notice the hands are gone that you were able to see.
Okay. Did they look
Um,
like the hands from this morning?
Yes, same exact hands, same nail color, same slender fingers, same rings. You did get a closer look at the rings this time. They looked decidedly Egyptian as well. And they all had snake motifs.
Okay.
You also notice, because you made your intellect check too, did you do an intellect check?
Uh,
Go ahead and make,
when on
yeah.
the snake, I did.
yeah, go ahead and make another one.
Okay. 8 against 10.
8 against 10. You also notice the same thing happened to your friend who's been following you around. The minute all of this happened, you saw her. She was walking behind you with her hands behind her back and her head down, the same dark mist or entity or something around her that's very vague. As soon as all of this happened, the snake appearing, the hands appearing, she immediately drops down to her knees and like hugs herself, shaking and pulling at her hair. And then as soon as it disappears, she gets back up and stands in her same morose position.
Okay. Kind of on the sly, so not to draw attention from the living as much. I like grab her hand, give her a squeeze, and be like, and I whisper under my breath, "I'm, you're all right now. I'm working to make everything better."
Her shivering lowers slightly, but she doesn't look up at you or respond.
Understandable. Well, Cairo is our next destination, I guess. Or
Are
at
you,
least my next destination. I
are you,
say loudly out with a sigh.
Uh, yeah, no, Victor is visibly disturbed by what just happened.
your
And
friend,
he's kind of looking over at you, Nicholas, like you kind of just lost it a bit.
your friend behind the counter, barista, asked you if you're all right. What's going on? You guys all right? Victor, I ain't seen you in a while. What's going on?
Victor jumps in and goes, I just wanted to check in so you weren't thinking I was dead. I'm actually, this was a mistake. We need to go. We need to go now. It was great seeing you.
Where are you going? We just got here.
Yeah, I know, and I don't want that to be something that becomes a problem for you. So we're gonna go now and figure out what the fuck that was. Yeah,
where were
Nikki?
you? Your friend's asking, but where were you? Did you leave town?
Yeah, I was just out of town for a little bit.
Are you coming back? The folks here miss you.
Yeah, Victor's actually getting more anxious as the more questions are being asked. He doesn't understand what the fuck they just dealt with.
Okay, so what are you gonna do?
That's me saying out of character. Like he's having trouble trying to like catch his composure right now.
Right.
Well, Victor wanted to see you. Things are fine now, for the most part. He will be around again, but there are some other matters that need to be dealt with. He just wanted to see you briefly, and we're going to be heading out. My apologies for the brief and awkward interaction, sir.
So all right, well, be safe, I guess. Good seeing you again, Victor.
Stay safe, Lucky.
If you're in trouble, I hope you let us know.
I'll let you know when I understand the situation a little bit better.
He's kind of looking sternly at Nicholas right now, like he thinks Nicholas might be a problem. You notice his hand moving for something behind the counter, which you know to be his double-barrel shotgun.
Victor takes a deep breath, kind of like settling his thing, and puts a hand on Nicholas's shoulder and goes, I'll let you know what's going on when me and Nikki here figure it out, okay?
All right. Take care of yourself, Victor.
Sorry for worrying you like that, Johnny, but still alive.
You know me, staying lucky. Hopefully it rubbed off.
Let's see it. We'll see. We'll see. And he starts backing out of the cafe.
All right. You leave the cafe. Seth is like, you guys all right? We didn't even get a coffee. He was standing outside near the window.
No,
Nope.
not already. Not even a little bit. What the fuck?
I'm probably one of the cult's primary targets in Chicago right now.
Well, ain't that a fun revelation?
Yeah,
And you want to go to the place creepy snake lady was telling you to go.
Oh, by the way, Nicholas, you still see 2 holes in Victor's cheek with little droplets of blood on them.
I'm gonna discreetly just put my hand on Victor's shoulder, and while continuing the conversation, I'm gonna cast a spell to extract poison.
Okay.
Using my death magic, which we
Uh,
got a
Victor-
7 for success.
Yeah, you could tell he's casting a spell on you this time.
Victor's gonna grab Nicholas's wrist and goes, I don't know you well enough for you to do that without telling me what it is you're doing.
He already did it. And Nicholas, it had no effect. You didn't detect when you cast a spell any poison in Victor's system, even though you attempted to look for it and extract it. You didn't find any.
I mean, probably got rid of all the tobacco.
What I did, because from my point of view, Victor, was one of the snakes bit you, and I'm able to still see a wound on your face.
Oh, it's quite clear in your vision as well. You see there's definitely 2 bite marks on Victor's cheek.
And I was just casting a spell to remove any poison, which there is none, was none, definitely isn't now, just to make sure. But continuing our conversation prior to me casting the spell on you is I have to go to Cairo because it's the only way that I can deal with this, which is more of a matter to fix a problem they're causing for someone very close to me than myself. Right now, my safety is secondary, in my opinion.
Victor kind of glances back at the cafe and goes and nods and goes, all right, I get that. You said something bit me?
One of the snakes.
You know, you know healing magics, right?
Am I able to combine the three of them to patch flesh, whether living or dead?
Yes.
Or is that
Yeah,
okay?
we talked about that before, and that's a yes. Because you can
No, no, I
reanimate,
wanted to
because you
ask the
have the ability to reanimate the dead, so you can reanimate the flesh as well. It's not typically your normal healing alternative, but as a necromancer, yeah, you can.
more like a do you know how to do diagnosis?
No,
Like
I
yeah,
can tell you you're not poisoned. Poison is well within the domain of death.
out of character for a moment. Would ritual magic go over curses as well?
yes,
Could I use ritual magic to see if I've been cursed?
yes.
I would like to roll to see if I've been cursed.
All right, go ahead and make your ritual magic check.
That's right. Yeah. 80.
The
No, wait.
answer,
8. I read that wrong.
you rolled an 8.
Yeah, it's 008. So yeah, 8.
Okay, so a crit.
Yeah.
Yes, you have been cursed.
Fan fucking tastic. I don't get to catch a no. Yeah.
Very, very good thinking, by the way.
So Victor pushes back his hair. He looks
It's a, by the way, with your successful crit roll, it is a necrotic curse.
necrotic curse.
Yes, that deals with skin rot. So you suspect you should start showing signs in a few days, if not hours.
You know anyone who knows how to spell a curse?
You do. You have ritual magic.
Well, fuck yeah, you're right. Could I perhaps like roll on my ritual magic or insight on that
Yeah. Do you
to
have
know how
any?
to at least counter a curse?
Do you have
Counter.
any kind of magic-based knowledge skills like arcana or ritual? Do you have any of those type of skills?
I have my ritual skill.
Just your ritual magic skill. That enables you to catch ritual magic spells. But do you have any
Let me-
knowledge-based skills? If not, you just have to base it right off your intellect.
No, I don't.
Okay, so you'll have to make a roll off your mental group score, whatever your mental group score happens to be.
Okay, and that's gonna be 18.
18?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got to roll an 18 or under on a D100.
No, I rolled a 42.
All right, so you don't quite know how this ritual was cast, so you don't quite know how to unweave it. But you suspect if you find a ritual mage, a knowledgeable ritual mage, but you already know there has to be one on the Elven grounds. You do know there's one in the college. They might be able to help you with the materials you need to counteract the curse.
You mind filling me in on the spell you just cast?
I didn't cast
Oh, and the curse, by the way, is centered around your cheek, your right cheek, for some reason. So you suspect the skin rot's going to begin there.
so he kind of puts his hand up to the cheek, roughly from I suppose Nicholas's perspective where the bite is, and goes, I need help. I think I know that whatever the fuck wants you to go to Cairo just cursed me.
What kind of curse do I have to look out for here?
I am going to decay slowly.
Out of
Out from your
character, would that be something that I would be able to deal with my classifications of magic?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't deal in curses, you deal in life and death.
I was more so asking because of the specific kind of curse is something that I can perform with my magic, i.e., necrosis.
You do it in a different way.
Okay.
and I'm gonna need to talk to someone who can fix it.
I mean, tomorrow morning at the least, there's an appointment with the ritual mage at the college, the academy.
Oh, that's a question I had for Dante. The new character, did
Yeah,
he pick a race?
elf.
An elf. Very
Yeah.
good. I know exactly how he's going to be brought into the game then. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah. He looks over at Seth and goes, could I ask you to escort me back to the apartments?
Who are you asking?
Seth.
Oh, Seth. I thought you were talking to Nicholas. All right. Yeah, Seth will escort you back there.
All right,
He'll escort you both back there.
Yeah.
But he says
Victor needs
he does tell you that he can't cross tribal lands without Aether King. None of you can. You have to be in her company.
So it's not just if they've been given permission.
You've been given permission as Aether King's guests, so only
Yeah.
Aether King can bring you through the wall.
All right, so I guess to the college then.
Okay, so you head to the college. You're not too far. You're only like a block away. You get to the college about this time. Aether and Aster Smith, unless
Yes.
Aether King's asleep now.
No, I saw Aether moving about.
That was a while
That
ago.
was just the glitching down and I saw the ceiling.
But either way, you get to the professor, and he gives you the information you want. He gives you some advice on, a few quick words of greeting and where's this and where's that, and has them written down for you and all that, or has you write them down. And he also hands you a couple of books of basic conversations in Egyptian, that sort of thing. Something you'd like give tourists that are visiting Egypt. And he gives you some help and examples in the last hour or so that you were here on examples of pronunciation and things like that. Nothing extensive. You'll basically need quite a few days, but the books will help you, especially if you take time. If you cross the Atlantic on ship, you'll have plenty of time to learn a good deal of Egyptian on your way there. But right now, he gave you just the basics. So, as you guys were you going to ask him anything else important?
Not for this teacher. I mostly just want to learn. Oh well. I guess I could tell him why I want to learn. So,
Anna fell over because every time the video flashes in, I see the door from the floor.
his name's Raul.
Yes.
Raul.
Raul Mohamedi. I forgot to give you his last name. Raul Mohamedi.
Mohamedi.
And it's spelled just like that. Mohamedi.
Okay.
I think Hannah fell because the camera's pointed straight up to her ceiling.
Yeah. The reason I'm trying to learn Egyptian now is because we're put on mission to find this item, and it's leading us to go to Egypt. So I'm trying to learn this as quick as possible.
He says, well, study. He says on your journey over to Egypt, she gives you plenty of time to learn what you need to learn to get along.
Yeah.
But he gives you a lot of the pitfalls most tourists end up doing when they try and speak Egyptian over there, and warns you against them, and talks about the custom and culture of Egypt for you in the hour that you're with them.
Mm.
So you got a good smattering of what not to do, what you can do, who to talk to when you get there, who's going to try and rob you, who's not, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And naturally, the books that you can study on the way.
Yeah. So
You guys leave.
yeah.
Yeah, he gives you only an hour because it's his the end of his day. But he gives you that. He gives you that last hour around 6 p.m. You start heading out, and you see Victor and Nicholas in the lobby talking with
Hey
Seth.
guys.
And
Hey.
Aether King is just kneeling in a corner, crying because she's sad.
um I got all the study material for Egyptian. I don't know how long we might take before we go. Whether we get
The sooner the
airfare.
better right now.
But we have some stuff to do tomorrow, so I mean at least a week for me to go over most of the stuff.
Seth looks at Victor and Nicholas and he says, Aster, I think these two have something more pressing at the moment. I don't quite understand it all, but they were talking curses.
They were cursing?
Curses.
Oh.
Being cursed?
What happened?
Well, a lady from the cult of Set, most likely, appeared in a more spiritual form and laid a curse on Victor through snakebite,
Well,
while also implying that they know me and I should know who they are.
would my character have any idea of how to cure curses based off of Arcana skill or no?
You can do a check, an Arcana check.
All right, I'll do that.
Make your roll.
Okay. I got a 63 out of 77.
Okay, you know it to be in the realm of ritual magic.
Yeah. Well, it's ritual magic, right? Do you know anything about removing curses, Victor?
I'm not very familiar with removing curses. I don't dabble in magic in a way that affects things like this.
Well, we're meeting with the ritual teacher tomorrow morning at 8. I could tell him, ask him to come see you to see if he can try and cure you.
Or teach you how to do it.
But then Victor would have to join the school, right?
Oh, by the way, Victor, you feel a tingling in your right cheek.
I mean, that's what I can think. I can ask him.
Victor kind of like you see his jaw tense a bit, and he's covering his face with his hand. And he's like, "Yeah, I'll appreciate you asking."
That's not good. But for now, let's just head back to the tribal lands and I'm
Head back
gonna
to-
study this.
All right. Aether King gets up from her sadness and moroseness and head bowed down, crying gently. She leads you off to the tribal lands. Just kidding. She's acting normal.
Hmm.
But are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
She's awake. We thought you were asleep because you were gone.
Hmm.
Did you hear what was going on?
Uh,
Are you
I
up
think
to
I dozed off for a second.
longer than a second?
It was a few minutes.
That was a good nap.
All right. So basically, you guys got the information you needed from the Egyptian specialist, and he gave you some materials that you could study on your journey to Egypt if you go. And he
Mhm.
gave
I know Victor was heading to go see
Yeah.
some old friends.
Yeah, they did all that, came back and mentioned to you guys that they're dealing with a curse right now and need a ritual mage to help them. But now they're talking about going back to, since you don't have an appointment until the morning, talking about going back to the tribal lands.
Oh, okay, but when you say a ritual mage, that you need
A
ritual-
more experienced ritual mage.
oh,
Yeah,
so
a
you need
ritual
someone
mage
else.
who doesn't use their magic to make crowds bigger as my performance is.
Yeah, so we head back to the tribal lands now.
Yes.
Aster Smith, and I'm assuming Aether, if you still want to learn Egyptian, I'm just gonna kind of dive into all the study materials and practice tonight.
Victor, do you
And,
still have your cheek covered?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys go back?
Yeah.
All right. You travel back to the tribal lands. It's a couple blocks away.
On the way back, I want to ask Victor. Victor, you're able to detect curses, right?
Yes.
I was wondering if you'd be able to check me and specifically a location like right next to me, a specific location that I specify. That
Well,
location is going to contain a spirit that may also be cursed.
sure, why not? I'll do that for you.
Thank you.
Right. That's a 27 to my 64.
Okay. That's
Correct.
on Nicholas.
That's on Nicholas, yes.
Yes, he's got some form of binding curse.
All right, and then on the space near Nicholas,
Specified where
7.
You detect nothing.
Nothing.
No magic, nothing. You don't detect anything in the location he specified.
I don't feel anything near you. You, on the other hand, maybe you're a little bit less fucked. It's entirely up to your perspective. But
You detect it was a very powerful binding curse, just
You
like
seem to
the
be-
the one you have on you is pretty powerful.
You have a binding. You have a curse that's binding you to what? By whom? Beyond my understanding. But whatever did it,
And your
It's a
roll was
power-
good, especially with your synergy bonus. You also detect that it's been on him for quite a while.
and you've been living it with it for a bit now.
Hmm. Okay, so I'm bound. For quite a while.
Yeah, the best way to describe it, Victor, is it appears around him like thick black cords or tentacles. You're not sure which because they're kind of smoky in appearance when you did your check, and you know it's been around for a while because those tentacles that are wrapped around him have leached off smaller tentacles that are embedded in his skin all over his body. You see him sticking into his eyes, up his nose, through his mouth, everywhere. In fact, when you're like viewing the curse, you barely see him.
I don't. I I don't. It's like you're caught up in this fog. I I don't know really what more I can tell you. It's been on you for a while. And it's powerful.
Is it like a black smoke? 'Cause
Yeah,
if that's the case, that probably started around the same time Valentine's Day massacre, or near enough to it.
what's the
And
I'm a bit out of the loop, world wise. Being in a dungeon does that to you. What's the Valentine's Day massacre?
um, Al Capone's group killed a bunch of people, but it's actually more so seems to be more related to the group that's causing us issues. And the group that's causing us issues, the binding curse is probably binding me in some way, but also what's probably causing issues for my spiritual companion.
Oh, I will sit there and say by this point, Victor's probably forgotten to keep his face covered. It's not the precedent of his anxiety right now.
Okay,
Um,
Nicholas, you also notice when Victor uncovers his face, you see those two holes are getting gangrenous.
Hmm.
You see black lines leaching out from the two snake bite holes.
I
But,
would like to do a stopgap measure and be like, hold on, let me patch that up a bit, and I'd at least like to knit the flesh together or attempt to
Well, you don't.
make buy them more time.
I have a
Buy
question.
them more
Can
time.
everyone else see the necrotic damage, or is it only Nicholas who's able to see it?
Only Nicholas. Nobody else sees anything to your face. Your face feels fine right now. You only feel a slight tingling on your cheek. So that could just be because somebody or because you saw a curse there.
Yeah.
But otherwise, to everybody else, you're your same beautiful self.
Victor kind of holds up a hand, just kind of asks, just kind of stop you, Nicholas, and he's like, "Don't. I'm not in any pain, and I don't think you're seeing what everyone else is seeing right now. I don't think your magic works here."
It looks pretty bad.
Yeah, well,
And I
across that
guess
bridge,
to
when I
you,
get
I
to it.
probably look really bad.
Speaking of crossing that bridge, Asta, Aether,
Yes.
do you know who put up that barrier?
I have no clue.
Do you know who could have put up that barrier?
Not at all. I even know what barrier you're talking about.
The one in the Elven Kingdom.
The one you were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, had no clue.
You think you can introduce us to someone who might?
I mean, you could probably ask the council when we go and talk to them.
See, I'm asking you because you're an elf. And at the right moment, I know you a bit better.
Out of game, do I know anything? I don't think I do.
You don't know about the barrier, but you imagine if there is a barrier there that the council had to put up.
Mhm.
I mean, it makes sense, but it's not just like common knowledge of all the elves.
Mhm.
You just know that you can invite guests on; they can't come on without your presence.
Mhm. Yeah. So my best bet would be to ask the council. I have no idea other than that who would uh be to ask. Most
Right.
likely they're ask someone or they know someone who is creating this barrier that you feel.
And apparently, it's a maintained barrier, so somebody's actively maintaining it.
Yeah.
It's new knowledge to me.
Which tells you, ritual mage, that there's more than one, because they have to maintain a ritual in shifts.
Yep. So gotta find those mages. That's essentially Victor's current goal right now.
Yeah, who needs the government's help?
Mm-hmm.
Just
All
up
right.
for the new government.
So you get to the tribal lands, and you get to the apartment, and this is where we can finish the game out.
Yeah.
Okay. You all get 1 experience points for the session.
You said, was it 1?
Yeah,
Okay.
I roll a 1d4 according to the rules, 1d4 each session to see how many you get. Yeah, this time it was 1.
Okay.
But since it was so low, I'm going to give you a bonus of 1, so 2 experience points for everybody for role play.
Yay.
But you,
Since we did more role play in this session than actual combat. No combat.
there is none.
Yeah, no combat. Guys didn't kill anybody today. What's wrong with you?
Hey, I think that's not as bad.
It could have happened,
Maybe we
but
could have stepped
Victor
on a
here
man.
decided to
Leave the poor
choose
South
peace
Side gang
instead of
alone.
violence.
Left the poor South Side gangers alone.
Yep.
Look, they pay
Left us
well.
alone.
Okay? Their lounges are really nice and they pay well. All right.
They do, high quality.
And they've never kidnapped me.
Nope.
I've already accidentally killed enough people for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, not really very
You
well on your
definitely
whole
did.
necromancer thing, you know. It's gonna be hard to make an undead army if they all hate you.
In the well, he can actually control them.
They'll still
Yeah.
hate him though.
Well, yeah.
you only heard about him bringing people to life with their soul intact for information. I can do it without their soul.
That's true too. You can make them permanent as well. Permanent undead followers.
Oh, I'm assuming I would need a ritual for that, though.
No, not
Oh,
with
really?
you're a necromancer, so you can easily bring them back to life and keep them powered.
Okay.
They'll probably like, you know, rot though.
I remember we talked about this before when you're talking about raising somebody from the dead, vice controlling an undead. So you can bring dead bodies or animate dead bodies that are still dead, and you can make them permanent. Whereas you need ritual magic to raise somebody from the dead, like the individuals you're thinking of. That requires ritual magic, but just animating a dead corpse and making it permanent is something you can do.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
and
eventually, wouldn't
does
it
it
not feel
constantly
good?
reach power, or is it just a one-time large spell?
One time large spell. If you want to make them permanent. Yeah, but you can make them permanent. The only problem with them is they continue to rot.
Okay,
Yeah,
but I
so
can perform upkeep daily.
exactly, you can continue to cast maintenance spells to restore their flesh and whatnot. Remember, we talked about that also. You could restore their flesh up to a point where they almost look healthy. Yeah. So
Hey,
you could actually fool people into thinking they're alive when they're not.
Undead servants.
Yes. Anybody else going to do anything before we finish for the night?
I'm just gonna be studying
Okay.
Me too.
What are you
Also
studying?
going to be studying my
the
relic
language,
crest.
Egyptian language, all the notes he gave us.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm gonna
Relic
spend the
crest.
evening practicing ritual magic.
Okay. No problem. Now, the question is, are you doing anything, are your studies related towards raising skills? Like you said, Egyptian, so you're going to attempt to learn the Egyptian language eventually. What about
Yeah.
attributes? Anybody doing anything to improve their attributes?
I don't know if this improves attribute or if it'll just help improve my ritual skill, but I do want my character to work on maintaining a spell for a longer period of time.
Okay, you can do that. Yeah. Now, maintaining a spell for a longer period of time would be more power points, that you could correlate that into increasing your willpower, which in turn increases your power points. But then again, since it's an attribute, that would take a month of study or practice, training, that sort of thing. And at the end of a month's game time, not real time, but game time, you would be able to increase your willpower, at least make a roll to increase your willpower, or spend the points to increase your willpower. It's up to you. Or you can concentrate it towards a specific skill. But you already have a ritual magic skill. So you could spend those points immediately in your ritual magic skill to increase that skill. As long as you got the points, you can increase the skill because you use ritual magic almost on a daily basis anyway.
Yeah, essentially I'm trying to prep my character so like if there is a point where a ritual is called like like how we have the maintained rituals, I want my character to be able to essentially take the bulk of that time casting that ritual.
Right. So as a ritual mage, it's not necessarily that you need to study or practice or anything else. Study is the key word. Like in this instance, you have the capability to remove the curse from you and from Nicholas for that matter. You just didn't quite make the roll. So if you got instruction from, say, another ritual mage, you can remake the roll to get a better result.
I have a question. I know like when we come back to the apartments and stuff like that, is it possible that no, because that would probably be better in roleplay. Never mind. I don't want to do that outside of roleplay. Yeah. I think my character is gonna just then can, I guess, dedicate time to increasing willpower
Okay,
so they can create more, so they can match, at the very least, they want to match the power of what was cast onto them.
very good. You can do that. Anybody else doing anything similar?
Well,
I'm
oh,
continuing my studies towards relic crafting and along the lines of the ritual book that I have in life to maybe progress towards discovering a ritual subcategory so that I have an advantage for uh my end goal of resurrection.
Okay, so that is, all right, so you're talking about a subcategory of discipline, right?
Yes.
Did you have one in mind?
The ritual subcategory.
Okay, so you want the ritual subcategory. Okay, so you're studying for that. Cool.
Yes.
Anything else, anyone?
That's just what I'm doing now. Yeah.
Okay, I guess we will go ahead and stop the recording. And anybody that watches this Twitch feed, see you next week.
Bye.
End stream. Stop recording.